Hi, I'm Sean Smith from South Coast Yachts. Today we're at Shelter Island Boatyard looking at the 2020 Beneteau Swift Trawler 50. Just had bottom paint. Join me for a walkthrough and tour of the exterior and bottom. Today is July 1st, 2025. The Swift Trawler 50 was just bottom painted. See this fresh coat of black bottom paint, which is all the underwater surface. That's right at the water line. This boat has IPS pod drives. Super cool to see this. Just polished the propellers, which are counter-rotating. See, they rotate the opposite direction. So these propellers being on the front of the drive grab right into the water. And then the exhaust exits out the middle. See, there's a zinc anode in there. And this whole pod acts as kind of a fin, which is really nice. When you're driving the boat, you don't have rudders aft, but when you turn the wheel, the whole pod rotates. So it does swim kind of like a rudder when you are driving the boat at low speed and high speed as well. When you turn the boat, the whole pod is going to rotate. See that kind of round entrance into the boat. On the transom, there are trim tabs, which have sacrificial anodes, underwater lights here. The zinc anodes are covered up to protect them from the bottom paint job, and then they'll remove that before it goes into the water, as well as the tape while this paint's drying. Another underwater light here, and then this is a hydraulic swim platform, which does get bottom painted as well, since it does sit under the water line. See, it's kind of opened up right here. So when you open up that hydraulic swim platform, which you can put a dinghy on top of, this whole thing goes underwater, and then you still have a ladder to board the starboard side of the boat. Walking forward, the Swift Trawler is a semi-displacement planing hull. So this hull can get up on plane and go 20 miles an hour. 22, I believe, is the max speed. But at displacement, it's super efficient. You've got this long keel, essentially, the whole 3/4 the width of the length of the boat. So that gives you a ton of stability. And then you can see where it tapers forward. The bow gets a very sharp entry. Get your bow thruster there. But a very sharp entry. The chines of the hull here, look at this shape here. So it's gonna really push water outboard. It's a very dry and stable hull. Really efficient at displacement speed. But if you wanna get somewhere quickly, get to Catalina in 4 hours from San Diego or less, then you can get it up on plane and go. Portside drive. Take a look at just the shape of the transom. You can see this dead rise here, which may be about the max for IPS. It just looks really cool to see this out of the water, the shape, especially with fresh bottom paint. The couple of through-hole fittings as well for raw water intake. And then look at how the hull here has basically a taper outward. And you can see here this corner. All of these really impact the ride of the boat, making it a super stable and efficient boat. Efficient at displacement, but you can also, with how much horsepower those IPS offer, get her up on plane and get somewhere pretty quickly. Thank you for watching this brief tour of the bottom of the Swift Trawler 50 here in San Diego. The boat is currently offered for sale. Contact me right away with any questions and to find out if the boat is still available. I look forward to talking to you soon.